Hi, Funeral Lady here. Today I wanted to talk a bit about notifications. How to go about and maybe wrap your head around the easiest and most stress-free way to notify people efficiently when someone passes away. So to understand how to best do this, I think we need to talk about kind of the rings or circles of people in most people's lives. I think most people have a very inner circle of people. This could be like immediate family, very, very close friends, colleagues, pretty much the closest people in a person's life, or people that wouldn't need updating on many things. They would have such consistent contact that they would organically know what's going on. Usually that very immediate and inner circle of people know when the death occurs, and this is the inner circle that would usually be tasked with coordinating most of the services and reaching out to those outer circles of people in the family and friend network. The next outer circle, I would say, I guess I would nickname it like the Christmas card circle. So this is like extended family, very long time friends, maybe colleagues, social groups that you see kind of frequently or for a long period of time, church groups, pretty much people that would receive a Christmas card every year. This is a big circle of people. And the next circle of people, I would say, would be more like associates, people that are part of someone's life, but not, really in constant contact, or, not sending a card every year. Like in my life, I would consider that like a lot of my Facebook friends. If I sent Christmas cards to all my Facebook friends, I'd go broke. So in thinking of these kind of four circles, the inner circle, the Christmas card circle, the next outer circle, the Facebook circle, and then the ethera of everyone else, you want to think about delegating if you're the one that has lost someone and you're in an inner circle around the person that has passed away. It's always a good idea to try to think about these outer rings and circles of people in the person's life and kind of figure out one person that might be ideal to notify by phone and how many people that person could then notify on your behalf. This is really kind of an important thing to talk about, because when you lose someone in your closest circle of life, it's very daunting in so many ways. And to think of having to make all these phone calls and notify all these people and worry about who you're forgetting, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And sometimes when a person dies, some people are very task oriented. That's their, comfort kind of style, is to give me a list, let me make the calls. That's great. Some people are the opposite. Some people are in a fog and it's just too much. So it's always good to kind of delegate these things, to talk about who is in these circles, who are the people that kind of deserve to be notified by a phone call and not just on Facebook or when the obituary posts. So delegation is a key thing. Never hurts to call someone and ask them how many people or how many groups they could reach out to on your behalf, like everyone else in the church group or everyone else in this branch of the family. And it's nice to communicate that and not just assume that people are gonna take that initiative. That being said, I want to also put it out there for people to think about when you're on the return side of this, when you are notified of someone's passing. It's kind of a beautiful thing to also offer to the person that's notifying you of the person that passed away. Who can I call? Can I help notify? Can I help call this group of people? It's always nice to make an offer to help. Sometimes there's just this awkwardness, or people get in a zone where they don't want to burden people. So it's kind of beautiful when offers are made. So that's always a nice thing to do. The other thing I want to talk about is having grace. I know sometimes in certain family structures, friend systems, all walks of life, there are always going to be people that either get forgotten for certain reasons. It could be the circumstance of the death or just the overwhelm of the family. And it's usually not an intended offense, but there sometimes are people that get very upset that they don't get a phone call, and expect that they should have gotten a phone call notifying them that the person passed away. So I want to talk about trying to have a little grace and think about the fact that there's so many situations that come into play. And before you get upset about not being notified, try to think about the legwork of it. How many people have a roadmap of every important person in their life and the contact information? In this day and age, people are not keeping phone numbers for very long. There's landlines that aren't used anymore. It's a lot. So that being said, if you're thinking about your own life, it never hurts. If you're already making kind of notes or wishes or organizing your important documents, it never hurts to add a section to that paperwork of the important people in your life, the important groups that you would like notified when something happens to you. And maybe include the point people in each of these groups and some contact information if you have it. It's just a beautiful thing to have foresight and think about some of these things that aren't talked about a lot, but I can guarantee you every single family realizes the different levels of burden and challenges that come with the notifying of a death when someone dies. There's always at least a day or two, sometimes 3, before an obituary is released, before things are put on Facebook. And the last thing I want to say is, as a point of etiquette in this digital age of social media, it's always a great practice not to mention a death on Facebook unless you've seen someone in the immediate family of the person that has died first post about it. Just a nice handy thing to do. If you hear about a death, go to the closest family member that you know and see if they have posted anything before you talk about the person that has passed. It's just a nice kind of way, because for families going through this, it's very much a gift to have a little bit of control over when things get posted, when they're ready to post things and ready for what comes after that. So just some food for thought about notification. And if you have any questions or any thoughts or any hacks about this topic, please comment or reach out. And as always, I'm the funeral lady. I'll talk to you soon.